6000 mAh batteries, processors with Antutu score of over 3 million, more powerful periscope cameras, and a whole lot of AI. Flagship Android phones in 2025 are going to be wild, and we are in for a treat. Let me tell you all that we know about the OnePlus 13, the Vivo X200 Pro, the Xiaomi 15, the S25, and more from all the leaks and rumors that have been floating around. Of course, a word of caution, take every leak and rumor with a pinch of salt. If you're here for the first time, I'm Eshat, you're watching Track and Take English, your destination for detailed, incisive gadget reviews. Obviously, there will be two chipsets that will be on most major Android flagships next year, and that is MediaTek's Dimensity 9400 and Qualcomm's Snapdragon 8 Gen 4. Phones like the Vivo X200 series and the Find X8 series are expected to have the Dimensity 9400, whereas the OnePlus 13, the Xiaomi 15, the iQOO 13, all of that will come with Snapdragon 8 Gen 4. But here's something that's interesting. Samsung apparently will be using the Snapdragon 8 Gen 4 across the Samsung Galaxy S25 lineup and not the Exynos 2500 because the yields have not been that great. Sorry for the interruption, guys, but we just got news that the Dimensity 9400 has already launched, and there are strong rumors that the base Galaxy S25 and S25 Plus will actually come with Dimensity 9400 this year. Now, talking about the Dimensity 9400 and the Snapdragon 8 Gen 4, they're not just going to be mere upgrades. They're going to be groundbreaking this year. Because firstly, the Snapdragon 8 Gen 4 or the Snapdragon 8 Elite. By the way, there are some rumors floating around saying that the 8 Gen 4 will actually be called the 8 Elite. And the reason for that is the Snapdragon 8 Gen 4 or the 8 Elite will actually have an Orion-based CPU, which is also used in the Snapdragon X Elite laptop chips. And which is why the laptop chip is called Elite and the mobile chip could also be called Elite. But what's more interesting are the leaked Geekbench scores. The single core scores are touching 3,200 points and the multi-core scores are touching 10,000 points, which is actually higher than what we've benchmarked on the Apple A18 Pro. But you know what? The MediaTek Dimensity 9400 is not holding back either. A leaked Antutu score of the Dimensity 9400 is revealing that it will cross 3 million points. And obviously, because the Dimensity 9400 is also going to be based on a new ARM and MediaTek co-developed Black Hawk architecture. In fact, the Dimensity 9400 will have the Immortalis 925 GPU, and we got a GFX bench score. I mean, there was a leak and it's actually beating the Apple M4. That's mad. Of course, we've reached the point that we're just pushing for performance now. Most processors are good these days. But what matters is also RAM and storage. But the only bit of leak that we're hearing right now is the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra might come with UFS 4.1 storage, but there's no concrete evidence of that. But here's the thing that we can say with certainty is that most Android flagships in 2025 will come with a lot of RAM. At least a minimum of 12 GB of RAM will be there on all Android flagships, which is also true for iPhones now. And the higher variants could go up to 24 GB. Why? Because AI. Yeah, that rhymed. One of the design and display trends that we will see in Android flagships of 2025 is something that I am really happy about. No more curved displays. It's all going flat and rounded with the edges. Designed renders of the Vivo X200 series, the Oppo Find X8, the Samsung Galaxy S25, the Nothing Phone 3, and even the Xiaomi 15 series, all of them have flat displays. In fact, I think the OnePlus 13 might also have a flat display, which will be crazy, right? But I'm happy about this because you guys know how much I love flat displays over curved displays. Now, considering how Apple increased the size of the display on the iPhone 16 Pro Max by reducing the bezel size, yeah, well, that's gonna happen with Android flagships too. For example, the Oppo Find X8 has extremely slim bezels. In fact, it might have slimmer bezels than the iPhone 16 Pro Max. From 6.7 to 6.8 to now 6.9 inches, maybe even 7 inches, then we're entering like tiny tablet territory. By the way, some of these phones might not have entirely flat displays like the Vivo X200 series and the OnePlus 13. They might have micro quad curve panels like Xiaomi uses on their phones, which is damn nice. Of course, most of these will also come with LTPO technology and of course OLED as well. Now, the rest of the display specs with respect to resolution is going to be 1.5K, some might even go up to 2K, and you also will get 120Hz refresh rate. I don't think that's bumping up either. I think only Motorola is going to stick to like 144Hz or even 165 on certain phones. But one thing that we believe that most Android flagships will do is switch from an in-display fingerprint scanner to an ultrasonic one on almost all Android flagships in 2025. Oh, there's also a possibility of IP rating going up from IP68 to IP69 on many phones this year. And you know what? I'm going to spare you. I'm not going to make a 69 joke, but I definitely want you guys to subscribe. Give us your support. Be nice. Be kind. You guys are awesome. Now, with respect to batteries, the sizes are going to go up this time. The OnePlus 13 is expected to have a 6000 mAh battery. So is the Xiaomi 15 Ultra and the Vivo X200 Pro. Now, despite being larger batteries, they are higher density batteries and therefore they will not take up more space inside and therefore your phones will not be thicker either, which is damn cool. Now, when it comes to charging speeds, Realme has already showcased the 300 watt prototype, but I doubt that that's coming to flagship phones this year. Most of the flagship phones that we're seeing and the leaks and rumors that we're seeing, most of these phones will come with 120 watt charging speeds. But the real question still is, will the S25 Ultra have faster charging speeds than 45 watts this year? Well, time will tell. Now, when we are looking around to see if there are any improvements to wireless fast charging, well, not really. There's still going to be 50 watt on most phones and that's plenty fast enough anyway. Also, in general, when you have super fast wireless charging, you have to buy the charger separately, so that will continue to stay. You're not going to get chargers inside boxes. That's not a trend that we're looking forward to in 2025. Now, talking about cameras, there's something that we are noticing could be a trend in 2025 Android flagships is that most brands which were using 1-inch sensors might not use 1-inch sensors on their Pro and Ultra models this year. They might go for smaller sensors, but with stack sensors and better algorithms. Now, this is something that is interesting, but this is actually going to be a space-saving measure by brands because they're going to be using larger sensors for their periscope cameras. For example, the Vivo X200 Pro is expected to come with a 200 MP periscope camera with a larger 1x1.4 inch sensor. In fact, the Xiaomi 15 Ultra is also expected to replace the Xiaomi 14 Ultra's 50 MP camera with a 200 MP Samsung ISOCELL HP9 camera. And of course, ultra wides will continue to be like 48 MP, 50 MP and like really crisp. That's to be expected. But the point here is that more than hardware upgrades, what's crucial to see is the software algorithm because that's where Vivo, at least in our opinion, has been putting in a lot of effort and work, and it shows in the kind of photos that you're getting from those phones. Also, Vivo and Xiaomi are two brands that give you the option to pick the kind of look that you want with their Zeiss branded and Leica branded tunings. Similarly, Apple has increased the number of photographic styles that are there and it's giving the control to the users, which we predict is going to be the future for Android flagships as well, where the control will be in your hands and you'll be able to pick and choose the look that you specifically want. Now, with video recording, of course, we'll see the regular 4K 60 FPS, 8K video, all of that, but 4K 120 FPS, now that iPhone has introduced it, will become like even more important on Android flagships this year. Maybe they'll also become better quality and beat the iPhone. Fingers crossed. Now, one of the things with hardware on smartphones is that it's reached a point where it might be a little saturated and any or every upgrade might feel iterative or not really useful for the regular consumer. But what will change the regular consumer's behavior is artificial intelligence improvements to software. Obviously, Google and Samsung are at the forefront of AI features, and of course, Apple's Apple Intelligence is also coming soon. But next year, definitely there are going to be way more AI features-based implementations on phones like Vivo, Xiaomi, and OnePlus, and of course even Oppo. But what will be more important is to see which one of these gives you the more useful AI feature. Now, which brand would do that? Take a wild guess and let me know in the comments below, and we'll come back and check if you were right or wrong. By the way, with respect to software updates, most of these brands will of course give you at least 5 years of software updates for their flagships, but some brands like Samsung and Google already give you like 7 years of software updates. And some weird and interesting things are happening already. With Vivo's FunTouch OS 15 based on Android 15 is already here even before the official Android 15 upgrade has come to, Google Pixel phones. In fact, there is some news suggesting that, Samsung is not going to be introducing One UI 7 with Android 15 this year. It will do that only next year with the launch of the Samsung Galaxy S25 series. And most folks were expecting that at Samsung's developer conference this year, but that didn't really happen. And that shows you how important software is going to be in 2025. Alright, now that you know what to expect from an Android flagship in 2025, which one are you specifically looking out for? Let me know in the comment section below. If you ask me, I'm looking out for the Vivo X200 and the Oppo Find X8 Pro. And the reason why I am excited for those two phones is because they are rumored to come to India this year. And that'll be so cool. Alright, that's it from me for this one. I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, keep tracking and stay safe.